Hola chicos, un gusto que ya estén de regreso. Vamos a continuar esta segunda parte de la clase con el nuevo invitado. Nada más que no habla español, entonces cambiaré un poquito el idioma al inglés y les pido que cualquier pregunta que tengan, por favor, en inglés porque si no, no va a entender. So, hi everyone, it's good to have you back. We're going to start the second part of our class right now. We have a guest, as you all know, and as you might have searched information from him in LinkedIn. So we have here, yes, Vanya, and he'll introduce himself to you. So there's not much of me to speak right now, so I'll leave him with you. And please really listen to him and pay attention. I think he has a lot of things to say to you, which are going to be very useful for your future career. So, Danya, welcome to our class, to our marketing strategies. Service of marketing. Welcome, and you're here.
Hi, online people, and hi, Cluster people. It's nice to be here. I'm very excited, and probably can't see it because I'm pretty much getting used to being in Mexico, so it took a while. First of all, yeah, my name is Vanya, and Vanya comes from Russian name Ivan. You know the name Ivan. So yeah, when Ivan is cute, they call him Ivanushka. But when Ivanushka is extra cute, then they call him Vanya. Yeah, so you can take me as an extra cute. I come from Croatia, and well, I do have some slides about myself, so you can be able to find my contact. I will share on the third slide. I think I have my email, so feel free to contact me whenever you. One of the recommendations I have seen the other day that some smart people said. One of the recommendations he would give to himself when he was younger is ask for help. So feel free to reach out to anyone who offers you help, and don't bother. So, well, I have 15 years of experience in digital marketing, and when I was your age, it was very cool to hear speakers saying that they had 15 years of experience in something, and I was quite jealous about it. And now when I can say it, I can tell you it's so fun. The time that is, yeah, you have no hair, 24 hours on the plane is too much for you. More than you can chew, and you probably by then hate what you're doing, especially in this part of marketing. The part that I love is lecturing. And this is not a vocation that you can compare to, probably no other. So I started 15 years ago. Well, when I graduated, I started working different jobs as a freelancer. So I was self-taught full stack developer. So I was programming, I did photography, I was an interpreter, which was cool because I could travel a lot and meet cool people. And then, like it happens with every man once in a lifetime, you meet that person that sorts you out. So my wife, when we met, said, okay, now we have to organize our life. And then I figured out, okay, I'll start a company. So I started my first company, as you can see, in 2008, which was not the best decision because economic crisis just started and we had a lot of work to do in the next 5 years to bring it to a certain level. In 2013, when I left, before I left, we opened offices in the United States. So today, our this agency, about 50 people, one of 50 best e-commerce digital agencies in the world. When we started that, it's called narrow because we thought of working with neural networks. So something that's related to AI. And then we were fresh in the business and figured out, okay, Croatia has 4 million people. Okay, so next time I'm coming, we can all come and stay at your place. So we figured AI is not going to work for us to survive. So we ended up programming websites. And websites brought me to different topics, from digital analytics to analyze stuff, then to content that you have to create. So I was creating a lot of content and stuff. I learned a little bit about UX design. So I was using different tools for design. For example, Illustrator, that was the biggest trouble to learn. And that brought me to digital marketing, actually. And then I left because I had a vision of moving more to digital marketing, mobile apps, social media, which was something that we missed in the period of 2010 to 2013. I started my other agency, time I employed at my university as head of marketing, and later went to this position that I'm now here as a head of digital marketing study program. And we discussed last week, we discussed a little bit about careers and futures. And yeah, I told them I never figure out that I'm going to end up in education. And yeah, now I'm doing my PhD. So we're going to this scientific part of the story from practice. It's something completely new for me. And one thing, from 2014, I'm one of 250 Google certified trainers in the world, which means that Google hires me to train agencies, companies, experts about using Google digital tools for their business and for their clients. Yes, I study a lot, and this is my contact. Feel free to contact me through LinkedIn, and you can also find me on other social networks, but I'm not active. I hate social media, which is quite strange because of what I do, but I find social media quite unhealthy. Yeah. Should I minimize this? Yeah, I don't have to see myself. I'm not fond of how I look. Okay, so today I thought of giving you a perspective on marketing agency as a part of businesses that is service-based business, that has some specifics how it works. And we would talk most of the time about how business around marketing agency is constructed and what it means to, well, do marketing and, well, all 4 P's of marketing in context of the agency. Please, yesterday the group gave me a lot of compliments. And as I said, the lecture is as good as the audience. Okay, so I can be very boring. Okay, and some classes I left and I thought, oh shit. But some I come out happy and full of energy because you were asking a lot of questions. So you guys all over Mexico online and you're here, please interrupt with any questions anytime. Okay, so before we begin, are there any questions? No? Okay. And please do say your name before asking questions. You online guys, I can read, so maybe if I see you. Okay. So I will give you a little bit of context about marketing agency, how it developed, and I will sum it. I won't go deep into it. I will sum it, and actually, summary of development is development of mass media. And this is how advertising business works. So the first marketing agencies were actually advertising agencies. They didn't do all pieces of marketing, and they were very specific in the context of what they do. So first agencies figured out, and we have the guy somewhere around here. Yeah. And before Palmer, there was one guy, I removed this slide. He actually figured out, oh, we have a church papers that are usually given to everyone before the Mass, Sundays. So why not put ads there to advertise? I don't know, he probably sold a cow or something. He was selling a cow or something, but basically what happened that structuring of advertising agencies started during 19th century. So it was very far and long ago. First of advertisements that were made were based in newspapers, and then these are actually well, timeline how things develops. From print, people moved to radio. And yes, of course, everyone said then print's gonna die. So radio changed the industry in a way that it introduced new ways of advertising through audio content. Then they had different shows, so there were first jingles in the show, radio show that was promoting the brand. They had to have music in jingles, so it was getting a little bit complicated. And then everything was pretty boring until mid-20th century when television was introduced. And of course, the timeline is not something that is applicable in all parts of the world, depending when my father grew up without television. They bought TV set first time when he graduated the study program and he was employed. So it was around 60s. Okay, so we come from a small place in Croatia. So it was dependent on a lot of facts. So, but in the Western world, especially the United States, so development was going along with mass media. Consumers were moving there. Advertisers wanted to reach consumers, and everyone followed. And this is how things work today. When I speak to the clients, I always say them one quote that says, you're not behind your competitors, you're not behind the technology, you're behind your consumers. Okay, especially your generations are shaping the pace of how technology is used. I mean, we have to follow, and it's complicated when you get old. Then we introduced internet. So television brought new formats of mass media, from product placement in movies, especially for tobacco industry, and promotion through ads. Then came internet. What the internet did to marketing business, what do you think? Common sense, we're just talking.
Well, it shifted everything to like, now we have two different branches, which is like normal, traditional marketing, and we have digital marketing, which is quite different.
Yeah, so what's changed when you think in context of what digital brought?
Well, now we have a lot more tools to see or have a better understanding of the consumer or what the consumer consumes. Algorithms, and I think one of the most vital things is attention span. I think maybe in the past people had a lot more patience because they didn't have a lot of forms of entertainment. But right now, I think the attention span of a regular person is about 3 seconds. So now you have to make everything so fast. You have to get your message out so fast, and that's also a challenge and something that's changed with even.
What to say? What is your name? Sorry.
Natalie.
Natalie.
I also think it's all like this being easy to connect with other people in other countries, and for it to be so easy and so fast, like that connection with other countries, like it like washes off any barriers that there were like before. That's very interesting.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you both. You were great.
I think the amount of, as you can see, it's a lot more like it's bigger. If you go into a website and you see 4 or 5 in the first page, just the amount of exposure that a brand gets through the internet is a lot higher than through normal media.
Yeah, so advertisers are, because of that, in big risk and in big problems. So you have to every client I work with, I start with defining competitors. And I ask them, who are your competitors? And especially if you're targeting your generation on social media and everywhere, on smartphone, whatever you do in your at your free time, what do you think? Who is the biggest competitor to every company out there? Netflix. Yeah, because what? You're reaching people on digital media and you're having free time. This is you don't do business browsing on portals, watching ads. Probably if you read something, you won't receive ad at all. So we're reaching audience and they are on social media, watching some TV shows, HBO, whatever. So this is our we have to, when we create content and try to reach the audience, we have to be as fun and as entertaining and smart and useful as anyone else. So this is the big topic for discussion. And attention span is, last thing I read from Google, 1.7 seconds. 3 seconds is a goldfish. Okay, so goldfish has a longer attention span than most of us. Okay, that's huge problem. And I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name.
Mariana.
Mariana, Natalia, Mariana, and Jose. Okay, excellent. Natalia's and Mariana's we had in Croatia, but Jose. Okay. So these are big challenges, and as Mariana said, the one thing that technology and internet brought is now research, planning, entering new markets, getting to new audiences. It's easy. It's so easy. Imagine my town 30 years ago, before internet in 80s, and you want to go out to the new market. Where to start? Okay, imagine bringing the soup from Croatia to Mexico to get to the new market. You can't start anything from your position. First, you have to travel to Mexico. Find the marketing research agents who will do research, who will make then communication, then cultural differences that we have. Competitor, all the stuff you cannot research from home. Today, it's beautiful. The amount of information that we have available is wonderful. And this is your greatest position to study in such a great place and environment that you have online availability of knowledge, availability of teachers that you have, because teaching changed. So our professors were not available for us. So you have experts that are here that will put you in the right direction. So always ask questions and ask for help. And that smartphone Jobs did his job with designing a great product, which we all now cherish and we can't imagine our life with. But we have different consumers' behavior on different devices, and it's getting complicated. And today, we yes have artificial intelligence. It's there in a sense of machine learning for years now. It's part of every advertising platform. So it helped us in tools that we use, but now with who's using ChatGPT, okay, now it's reshaping how we work. Okay, every day I got articles about how to use ChatGPT in SEO, search engine optimization, writing an ads. We were playing around on my department, and we built a brand through ChatGPT, created a social media plan, created USPs, name of the brand, recommendation for new market stuff. So, and it's pretty good. Okay, it's saves time, it helps you, and it's beautiful for brainstorming process because you have someone really smart on the other side, and it takes you to process. it will probably remove some frictions that we have in the process of creating the content, testing the content. So we will be able to produce a lot of things very fast. I told that to the other group. What happened? I was away, and my colleague, which I'm helping, working with some, it's an IT company from the United States targeting healthcare industry, and he promised them to build a cold mail campaign of 6 mails and just preparing targeted audience for online meeting with consultants to talk about the product. And he forgot about it. He actually figured out 2 days before, it was midnight, we had next day, and then next day in the morning we had presentation to the client. Use ChatGPT. And it was perfect. We just reshaped what validation was ChatGPT created was fantastic for what we have done. So we are living in interesting time. There is Chinese saying about that. Actually, it's a curse. So this is a little bit. I put a lot of text here because maybe you would like to read it later. But one of the biggest things changes how it went through the process was how we approach advertising business. So one of the things was structuring the advertising business and how marketing agencies behave and what is the business process. So here is one interesting thing. The tobacco industries did loads of innovations in advertising. So they were first to introduce, imagine this ad now, okay?
So
So,
it would be so controversial.
yeah, it would be so controversial. Don't eat sweets because you're gonna get fat. Instead of that, light a cigarette. I mean, seriously? Okay, and the history of advertising is full of this kind of topics. There was a big fuss about selling, advertising opium as something that is good for kids and stuff like that. So, yeah. Then they introduced wonderful. Thank you very much. I was never clicking in this position. Great. Okay, so what happened to development of marketing agencies? First one was the rise of consumerism. It was very important, and today we live in the era. I read one wonderful article in New York Times where the author said, consumerism is such a powerful thing that we can call it new religion today. So it's actually replacing the things that were important before, and we can actually anything, anytime. Technologies and mass media change the formats, the tactics that we use when we plan communication strategies. It brought new positions in the marketing industry. Suddenly we needed to have media buying experts, media strategists who will tell how you're going to reach the audience, their audience in different statistics and stuff they need, okay? And it brought the professionalization of advertising, okay? So we had to agencies figure out to develop markets and they have to specialize. Things are very complicated these days, and you have less and less full service agencies that are small. So it is reserved usually for big so-called mega agencies that have different agencies actually in a group that are doing different stuff. So we have groups of agencies creating one specific thing. Okay, others important. And the invention of television, the first ever aired rule, which is ad on television. Okay, it cost $9 for and the ad. Okay. Invention of internet, and probably where we're gonna end is something that everyone wants to know. So we are getting to the business of marketing agencies where we have big mergers. So we have a period from beginning of 2000s where a lot of so-called digital agencies showed up, and they were specialized in communication and digital communication channels. The thing is, as digital marketing professional, I could probably say that most of the guys who went to this digital marketing field were people who were not afraid of technology, were very technology agnostic, and said, I can click that. But it lacked marketing strategy and marketing knowledge in the beginning. Marketing agencies thought, it's cool, but I can earn bigger percentage on a media buying. There's not much to do. Yeah, I will click great tools, listen to like Ariana. I click, I figure out who watches which TV show, who I need to reach. This is how much I have to pay to television. And as many media as I negotiate, I have better prices. Okay, so this you will see later, the type of so-called in-house agencies. So in-house, I'll tell it now because it will make this process. So in-house agencies are type of marketing agencies that are part of bigger companies. They usually, because of their position, they serve the companies that own them. So usually you have companies that are big like, I don't know, Procter & Gamble. They don't have in-house agency. We have in Croatia excellent example of Fortenova, which is a brand that has about 25 consumer brands from food market and retail. So they have their own in-house agency. This agency serves this brand, but also is available on market and sells their services in the market. And their position is very, very strong because negotiation skills they have, because of the budgets they have available, they can negotiate great prices with media through discounts and also offer that on the market for their clients. So they're in a very strong position of what they can do. So what happened is that suddenly more and more brands invested in digital, and traditional marketing agencies figured out they need knowledge about technology. So for example, in the last 5 years, big agencies, worldwide big agencies, developed a trend of so-called labs. So they're building technology labs, innovation labs inside the agencies, and hire engineers, building platforms, building products, both for them and for their clients. So they're moving from service business to product business. Why would someone do that? Why would you say, okay, we're offering services, but let's build a product and offer the product? And usually it's a digital product. Why would someone do that in their business?
So only you can manage it.
Sorry?
Only you can manage the product. Like I create a product, only I know how to use it. So I can sell you the service to for you to use it.
That's a good position. Very good. That's good thinking. You're going to be a good entrepreneur. Love the client. It's not the greatest motivation behind what they do. Probably some of them do that. Scalability. Services are not scalable You cannot get on board 20 new clients and manage your business through it all. If 20 new clients come, you have to have people who will work, you have to place to put them, you have to do all the things they need, and you have to find knowledgeable people. Products, especially digital products, still, if you take Facebook into account, I read something somewhere, the profitability per employee was $38,000 per employee. Okay, so it's a huge amount of money. So every employee earns their salary, covers all the costs and investments that Meta makes, and makes profit out of it because products are scaling. Okay, very cool. So we mentioned some of the agencies that we have, and usually when you look at the agency, it's a very complex place to be, but it's similar to any service business that we observe. We have some client, what we have to manage financial part and aim for profitability. We will actually a little bit about these three services. We've got to build a brand. We have to build tools and processes to maintain the business. And we are very exposed to market and regulations because today, as we are present on many markets, it gets very complicated. So every market, every platform has its own regulations. So you have to be knowledgeable of what's going on. The things when we differentiate agencies, we can differentiate them by many factors. So from the type of industries, specialized agencies, specializing services, industries, the size of the agency, many factors. One of the types that you have all heard are full service agents. So they try to offer all of the services. We also have a subtype that we can say are digital full service agencies that offer a variety of services related to digital communication. Okay. Then we have modular agencies that are agencies who don't come to the market with all of them services, but they actually offer part of the services, usually on a gig base, and are connected to the client. In-house agencies is that specialized advertising agencies. So those who are actually specialized in developing media strategies and advertising strategies. We have creative agencies, sometimes we call them creative. They usually are developing creative concepts. Well, yeah, for example, there is an agency called Adam and Eve. They are in United Kingdom, and they have one project that is between creative and modular. There is a retail company in UK called, where is it? I don't remember now. Maybe it comes to me. So what they do is developing the concept of a Christmas advertisement for that brand. John, I'll remember. And the whole year they're doing. There's a team of people working just on that. So when they start airing Christmas ad in December, they start working the concept for next year. And this concept is usually not just ad, but with that kind of toy and stuff, they develop a story around it. I remember how it's called because I always cry when I watch their ads. And they're very, very beautiful ads. And we have mega agents. These are groups that you probably came across someday in media and read about them. These are large multinational companies that have tens of thousands of employees, billions of dollars of revenue. So they're big players, and they usually have their subsidiaries in every market. even in Croatia, all of them are present, so you can imagine. Okay, so let's see some characteristics. Are there any questions?
The name of the brand is John Lewis.
Sorry?
John Lewis is the name.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It was quick research. This is what your generation does now. Yeah, you can find information very fast and make them useful. Okay, so first characteristic is professional. Professionalism and expertise. This is what builds difference between marketing agency and other differentiate from other agency. Every client wants to work with the agent, but not everybody. But everyone thinks they're working with agency who will deliver the best service and the best expertise. Of course, what you get depends on the money you pay. So the story is not that easy. But best companies have best experts. And what usually marketing agencies do, these experts come from partners and founders of the agency. So when they want to position their expertise on the market, they push partners to be visible, to, I don't know, put lots of interviews in media, write for different publishers, to speak at conferences, to move to education, to come as a guest lecturer, to make connection with educational institutions, and they try to position them that way. Marketing is creative industry. Okay, creativity is something that has to be worked. It's not like that, unfortunately. And this is loads of because digital, because it's convenient. Okay, I have to click an ad. My ad has 160 characters that I can put inside. But what I need call to action. Buy now. Okay, what am I selling? The best shoes in the market. Click and buy now. Okay, we can't do this. But basically, it gets to that. No creativity in the process, unfortunately. But the best agencies are very, very creative. Without strategic thinking, you cannot compete in the market. Strategic thinking and strategic approach to the client is very important. That means that I teach my students, you are not going to be good in digital marketing if you measure your expertise with how well you know the tool, how well you know the channel, and how well you know marketing. You will be as good as how much you know the client's business, and how clients, consumers behave. This is what's cool in the process because it's never boring, but it also is very frustrating because with every client, with every new industry, new market, you have to learn everything, and you start most of the time from scratch. That's why we have specialized agencies that specialize for a specific industry. So they are doing only pharma industry. It's easier. Okay, they can lower their costs because they don't have learning process is something they can skip because they know a lot about industry. They know how market is shaped, especially regarding some regulations that we have, laws and stuff. Track record. This is wrong. That should be on strategic thinking. Okay. You know the ad, Louis Vuitton when Messi and Ronaldo are playing chess? Yeah, I'll try to AI to create one. So I got this. At least he got Tim Burton style, so everything with Tim Burton. Okay. So track record. This is why portfolio of agencies is important. They present themselves to clients Well, this is something I usually say when I introduce myself to clients that have worked for markets and stuff, because it, makes the influence. This is why we build case studies to publish them, to show what we have achieved. And one of the important things in creative industries are awards. So professional awards, usually every professional organization in a specific industry give awards to best ads here and strategies and stuff. And you cannot succeed if you do not build a relationship with your clients. This is something that is, on one hand, time consuming and energy sucking. It sucks out your energy because clients always want you. They always ask for you, and you give them an account. And this is your account. She's beautiful, smart, cheerful all the time. Look at me. And no, they want me. This is one thing why I completely discontinued my agency business. Said I can't do that anymore. But this relationship, I still work with clients who I started with 15 years ago. Okay? It's like kind of a family thing. I know everything about them, they know everything about me, I purchase their products, they buy my services, and it gets complicated, like that we married and stuff. Yeah, this photo is not as I wanted. Actually, this is a snail with a burning house crossing the street in Mexico. Okay, so in this photo, Mexico is not so peaceful. Okay, adaptability. Adaptability, you, especially today, you have to adapt so fast. And it's not easy. It's easy for a person to adapt, but to adapt the organization and to adapt it in a better way to be, because you have to first develop the mindset for the adaptability. So anyone would say, we have to do this. First thing, when you say to your employees, we have to do this. When we're gonna do that? Look at how many projects we have, how many clients, and now we have to learn new things and create new processes and to be more efficient, to be more creative. That's how it's going, especially I had 12 girls at my agents, 14 people and 2 guys. So we were like, okay, when they were started yelling at us, we did. One day I came to my agency and everyone was crying. I was like, what happened? Jesus. Tihana, this is the name of the girl, Tihana. Tihana broke up with her boyfriend. And everyone was crying. Seriously, we're not going to get to the fix of that. And we have to be innovative. Okay, so what do you want?
It's not following you, and I don't know why it's not.
It usually follows.
And it's not following you. Move around it.
Back out here.
Just that here.
So we have to be innovative, because if you're not, we cannot be creative. And if you're not creative, we cannot be innovative. So it's a kind of loop, which brings us to be able to create new concepts, to introduce new technologies to clients and stuff. Trends that changed perspective of marketing agencies. There are loads of trends. We did a lot of research, and it's basically very similar everywhere in the world. First of all, COVID-19 changed everything, so it changed the way we do business. Okay, so for example, my first agency today, they don't have offices anymore. They do have offices, but not there. Just my colleagues and my partners that were co-founders with me, and a couple of them come from time to time if there is a meeting. Everyone is online, so they have 50 people all over the place. That changed a lot. Also, what happened with COVID-19, that everyone was afraid. We were expecting that major budget changes will happen, that market advertising will be there. They invested, and that didn't happen. And this is what we see now, the macroeconomical situation with inflation and everything happened partially because everyone thought that people will stop spending money, and that this will have effect on economic recession and everything. This didn't happen. Everyone started purchasing things online. What happened in the end, that these problems that we have, for example, China, COVID-19, if you go to, on their big rivers, Yangtze, Huanghe, if you had a ship with infected person, the whole river harbor would be closed for a week, I think, which would make delay in transportation of products to the final destination. Every day is delay of 1 month. Okay, so imagine that. And that happened a lot. There were congestion all over the rivers with boats that couldn't flow and bring the goods that people ordered. So the supply chain was something that used most of the things, macroeconomical things that we are experiencing now. So what happened is that governments gave a lot of money to consumers. Brands invested in advertising because, yeah, so we did research and marketing agencies when COVID started. 90% of agencies told us, 92, that they will fire people. When we did research later, after a year and a half, every agency raised their profits, raised the number of people, and the biggest problem was how to find new employees. So nothing went bad, okay? So these are some, you will check that. Special. Okay, we went to hybrid model of work. And this is the biggest problem. How to attract top talent and develop new services. Because remote process made it easy to talents to move. So switching jobs today is very easy. You will figure that out. Who is working? Who is employer? You who are not.
I'm freelancer.
You're freelancing?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you do?
I am industrial designer, it's my career. So I'm like making all the content on digital. So I'm making digital marketing. Like I just realized I'm making digital marketing right now, but they like I have 3 businesses that are working with me, and they are like I'm handling their social media on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Yes.
Okay, very cool. So, you will have any questions for response?
Yes, I have a lot.
Okay, so a lot of rethinking of business model happened, from partnership to pricing models. So what happened with this part? Because we live in very uncertain times, okay? And the clients started rebudgeting very often and figuring out how much budget they will invest. And from perspective of agency, you don't want to do that. You don't want that. You want a steady contract, at least a year long, that you can be able to plan your revenue. That is changing. So we are figuring ways how to introduce new pricing models that will give us client flexibility and for us security, collaboration, some digital products. We already discussed that. Okay. Everything that's happening is actually going technology dependent today. And changes that we experience partially because of GDPR regulations in European Union, so everyone has to transform the technology and everything. We have a lot of things to focus on. One thing is that still marketing agencies and marketing experts are still not really familiar with digital. They're trying different stuff like marketing mix modeling, trying to figuring out how much to invest, how to measure things. And they perceive still digital as something that is very measurable and very precise. No, it's not. Okay, and basically that's it. So planning in a way that I have a budget and I will accomplish that number of clicks, conversions, and blah, blah, whatever, ain't gonna happen. Things are very different, especially because entry level to enter into digital advertising is very low. You can have a couple of hundreds of dollars budget and you can work very fine online and do a great job. And if you have a lot of competitors who are like that, they're rising prices. So if you see the price line of cost per click through years, just getting worse. So imagine in IT industry, in United States, clicks that I paid for clients were about $40 US. That's one click. And in IT industry, conversion rate in United States is less than 1%. So imagine you have $40 times 100 clicks to get one conversion. So investment is $4,000 and you should start. There are different, in Italy, for example, dental services, many dental clinics from Croatia offer their services in Italy because at our place it's cheaper and the quality is high. When I started with my clients more than 10 years ago, we paid about $1.5 to $2. It was okay. Today it's about $15 to $20, so 10 times more expensive, and our conversion rates fell drastically. So usually we had campaigns with 8 to 10%. We targeted very precisely, very specific audiences which look for specific services. So conversion rates in some campaigns were between 8 and 10%, which is significant. But today, if you have 2% conversion rate, we're like, ooh, it's a good job. Okay, so it already, as you can see here, look at this, biannually 1%, and it's getting worse, okay? Like daily, weekly, monthly, so we will lose this, we lost annual planning. Okay, we used to have every 2 years planning, so someone would have pitch agency pitching every 2 years, we will have a client for sure for the next 2 years. That doesn't happen anymore. This is AIB, Advertising Bureau, that did, this is very fresh, I got it last week. Expectations from clients, how they're going to invest next year. So we expect even more money in digital. Digital is on the rise. B2B and travel industry are something that is hard to see what happens to automobile industries, apparel and fashion is now probably will experience a lot of pressure from governments because of sustainability issues and stuff. Just explored one topic and find in one article interesting fact that, for example, return shopping behavior. So when you buy something and you return stuff back in the United States, produces carbon dioxide in the amount of 6 million cars per year. Imagine the impact that we have as consumers. Next time you're buying something, think twice, okay? And instead of returning, give it to someone as a present. Okay, here we have, after, this is normal, travel industry grew after COVID-19. Everyone wanted to move away from home because, yeah, I would kill my family. I actually saw the book the other day on the shelf, How to Kill Your Family. This book, I'm not kidding you. With that, services and industry, Horeca industry grew. Financial services are great. Pharmaceutical is great because profitability during this period was very high. What I expect is actually that some things in travel industry won't work like it's planned. I see on example of Croatia, the huge, what happened because partially because of inflation, partially because Mediterranean has a very good year and went to numbers from pre-COVID era, is that everyone rose prices. So prices are, I've been having summer holidays at the same place for last 6 years. And they rose prices from the last year 42%. It's crazy. And now actually we are figuring out to fly to Greece and to have 2 weeks of holidays in Greece, and it's double cheaper than Croatia, half cheaper than Croatia. So it's crazy what happened. Okay. And let's discuss this one. I showed the scissors your last class, my pandas. Love them. There's no cute there. Okay. This is fine because half of this presentation is AI. You can figure out. There are Hitchhiker's Galaxy from marketing agencies. Okay. And the whole quote created by ChatGPT. Yeah, I told him, write me a quote from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy style about marketing agency in the future. And if you read it, same English language, it's written by Adams, okay? All the photos are AI generated. I finally can have meaningful photos if they want to. Okay, so talking about marketing agencies, completely lost time. Oh, okay. Okay. Share. Hi guys, did you miss us? Do you have any questions or are you there? No. No one's there. Thank you. Okay. So this is what shape. The fourth is the shape marketing agency business. And it's very hard. You're actually managing marketing agencies, trying to get in place of harmony, something that you wish for a period of time when new client comes and no one is stressed about it. We have enough resources to cover the client, and when you can employ new people before the need, so when you have enough money for that. And it never happens. It's very hard to achieve that. So actually, there are always somewhere between. First of all, if you're not profitable, then no point in doing business. Okay. This is maybe the biggest mistake that I made in my career is that I didn't force profitability. It wasn't in my first place. So I was always thinking of people who are working in the agency. They had a lot of fun, beautiful places, all things they needed. Cookies, candies, lunches, juices, everything they needed to have big, great computers and decorative stuff, but it hurts profitability. Okay. You always think, oh, we have to invest, it's going to come. Don't wait for it. This has to be the first thing. That is the science of managing agency and any service business, because you have a lot of, if you want this side happy, and if you want your people to rise and invest in people, you have loads of unbillable hours. Okay, so these are hours that you introduce in developing processes, introducing new things, like educating client, helping client, consulting client. You cannot, every email that you answer to the client should be paid. Okay? Service is based on time that you need to fulfill the service. So you are actually invoicing your knowledge and your time. That's it. And this is the formula for profitability. That happened to me when my wife came to work with our agency. She started sending invoices for every email and phone call my clients made. And I had so much job and work to do that I sometimes was lazy to issue an invoice if it was for a small amount because it took me time. And I said, okay, who cares? Then what? Beautiful thing. Our unbillable hours were lowered. Clients stopped calling me and other people for stupid reasons, just to talk, I feel like, what's going on today? So pressure. I don't feel well. How is your day? You have coffee, and most of the conversations were like that. Backpacking, and so lots of things changed. The more you charge your client, the more respect you will get. Okay? This is because people are stupid. Okay? So if we pay loads of money for something, we have to explain ourselves that our decision is good. Okay? So why we love someone who hurts us for 20 years and we stay in marriage? Because I invested 20 years in this person. And he hits me sometimes, but I love him, he's very gentle, but he's not hitting me. And vice versa. So this stupid we can be. It's not easy to play with our mind and unconscious things. But believe me, if you charge $200 an hour, someone you can do whatever you want. As long as you provide results, of course. No one's that stupid that you, but no one will ask you what you do. Small clients, for everything they ask you, okay, just tell me, why are we doing this? Why are we going to social media? Because of that and that. We told you last week when we decided to go there, okay? And you have an email with description of everything, and we have strategy that we have sent you. So yeah, but I just wanted to check. And there are usually 7 or 8 of them in marketing team, and then every level calls you, and then after 2 months, CEO. We had a meeting. I heard you're doing this. Why are you doing that? Your people know. They decided, but you don't ask them. I wanted to hear from you. And then, so these are unbelievable hours, and it never stops. Stop. One of the reasons why I closed my agency was because we reached the top in the level that we could provide in that size. So we were small agencies getting to the verge that we become middle size. So we needed to invest, and next level is about 30, 40 people. We were at the most, we had 14 people in the agency. So next level is going to 30 or 40 people. That size agency has enough resources to grow people because you can attract bigger clients. Loads of clients I lost because they told us you're small, especially when there were less than 10 of us. So we got from 6 to 11, it was like this. I think we grew in a couple of months. Just because we attracted first big clients, it was good push, many here. Okay, you came back with questions. We are listening. Your professors told so many nice things about you. Don't disappoint them. Nothing's working. My kids. Okay. So then, what happened to my colleagues in the agency, especially my partners that founded agency with me, is that they couldn't grow anymore. They needed new knowledge, bigger clients, and everything. Also, what happened to us, for example, did they tell you that, or it was last class? HBO came to us. We did digital for them for the whole region, 12 countries and stuff. And they said, we got instructions from Amsterdam that we need to work with one agency. So every market has one agency, and that's it. Can you do media buying for us? And I was like, okay, we're doing these 126 things, and now media buying, and we have no clue about it. I never did it. Okay, so I need an expert, employ them, and work with only one client. So you have to develop this service. You have new processes. You have to. Okay, this person will do it, but you have to find your client because you have to pay for this person's salary. So you have to invest for a certain period, and you lose a big client because someone there decided something. Okay, that's what happens. So when we figure out there are not lot there is opportunity only if we grow bigger, we decided it's too much for us to deal with it, and especially after all things that happened in the market. And you have to reach the clients. Clients are most time consuming, but it pays off. It pays off in the long run. Every investment you do in a friendship is gonna pay back. So this is kind of investment that you have to perceive. Clients should be your friend. Not in a way that you should be friendly and stuff, but respect, transparency, which is the most important. Everyone thinks that, oh, they're getting my money. If you tell them what you're working on, how you're going to complete things, what they expect, that is something that will help you grow your business. Next slides here, but I think important. Let's discuss. And you're online as well. Oh, looks.
Yes.
Sorry. Do you have any questions regarding anything?
Yes.
Please.
Like you talk about the relationship with the client, but how do you do when the client doesn't pay? Like, I don't know how to say, like, doesn't pay for that attention, like, and also is not available like always, like it's not it isn't a flexible client, and it also don't want, like, that client doesn't want to pay like for everything we're doing. Like she wants to like a smaller package and like cut me off this and this. So like as an, like I don't know, as an agency, what do you do with those type of clients that they don't want you to like invest like
Yeah.
too much?
That's a great question. Thank you. So one strategy that I have used, especially because, for example, you're building a website and no one wants to pay for user research and testing, usability testing. If you put that as a specific item in the quote, they'll say, okay, remove this, we don't need this. How are you going to create a functional website without this? It's stupid. Okay, who designed with lorem ipsum? I don't know, you know what's lorem ipsum? The dummy text that you put, yeah. So it's okay. How can you create the design without the content? First, content and the design and the purchase of user journey and everything from that. So I hide it. I hid it inside different stuff. So I would just say, okay, I need 20 hours for testing. So I put 2 hours in preparation, 2 hours in content, 2 hours, and I would have that covered in money, and the client wouldn't see it. So this is one thing I would do. Next thing you would do is always put best people. Something changed when I created offer for a client quote. I would put people who are working on specific parts, for example, content creation. And I would put, it's Mariana, 20 hours, okay? And then they know the people person. And when they are satisfied with them, when you put a higher fee per hour, they're okay with that, okay? And then in the end, I give part of the work to juniors. and students who are working, and yeah, you distribute this. But this is the little things how you can increase your hourly rate. And for unbillable hours, this is something you need to track. And it gets complicated. For example, once we analyze the client, and the hourly rate we had with the client is, wait for it, $2 per hour. We ended up in a project that got very complicated. Specification for the project was very bad. Many things got on board because I wasn't there, I didn't handle it. So developers were like, okay, we can do, Count said something, but didn't understand. Process was very bad. And when you figure that out, it's okay, because for example, this client brought us 20 other clients, and we loved him, and he's a great man. So it was okay, but we, for example, saw that we have clients who we didn't increase prices over a longer period of time, and our profitability was falling because more and more things were happening. They had more publishing in social media, they had new brands, they were adding stuff, and the equivalent of that wasn't what we offered in the beginning. We were changing that, but you can never change. They won't come and say, we have new brands, we will double the price. No, give us an offer, and then you can add some amount of funding stuff. When you see the profitability is falling off with the client, say hello, bye, no problem. There's no point, because you cannot change. Especially with for example, when you start with small clients as a freelancer and then you group, they cannot follow you usually, and you cannot increase prices.
Yes.
And it's very hard to say goodbye, and that's something you have to learn. Because you have limited time available for doing things, and it's the right thing to do. Because you will lose money in some time, yeah, but this is time that you get as an investment in yourself. This is important because it's you. Never forget that. We tend to treat ourselves in business as we are robots. We're not, and we need periods with less stress, with less everything. Invest in yourself. Treat yourself. You're a very fragile thing. We forget that. Okay, so damn it. You're welcome. Anything else?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I was like, figuring it out today when I was walking around and figure out what is traffic light, what is police car, what is car around, and then I heard this, and I was like, it's not traffic lights. There's cars here, and I sat for countless less walk, and then again, looked like maybe someone in a mobile phone, and I saw the bird. That's you. Jesus. Yeah, so I love the animals. And my kids always got those, and my colleagues, my university, they're like, oh, these, yeah. Beautiful place for you stuff. Anything else you would like to know or share? Please do.
So we were talking about adaptability on social media and stuff like that. How does an agency do that? If even as like a consumer, I can't keep up with what's going on in the world as a consumer. It's hard to keep up. So how as an agency do you keep up with what's changing like every day and what is worth?
Yes, it's very hard. Sometimes I come to class, I open the tool and there's a new report inside. I'm like, okay, let's try to figure out what's this, okay? And sometimes there's no blog post or anything that explains, it just shows up. Well, usually you have you in the agency. Okay, the young people who use social media and they introduce stuff. Actually, for example, some trends, what was it? Dub, yeah, on this one.
Yeah.
This thing was, we created a communication strategy for Coca-Cola aiming younger generations. And I was talking to my kids who were in kindergarten back then, and they used to explain me what is up. So we created the gift with mascota, with this challenge that was stopping and flossing and all that. So these trends are explained by consumer. This is why we are defining consumer. That's why we have to go out, okay, and talk. This is what most marketer guys forget. We have something that's called, you know, what's chess, myopia in chess? Myopia, you've heard of it? Can you tell them?
It's like when you're playing chess, you're too concentrated in like only one part of the board or like one piece that you can't see like everything that's going around, and maybe the other person is playing the long run game and you're playing only one piece or one section of the chessboard, so. And
usually when we speak about it, it affects both persons. So there is a third person watching game and says, you have checkmate in 3. And neither of them see that, okay? That's what happens with us in marketing. So we start from marketing myopia is something that's very, very dangerous thing because we don't go out. So when I talk to my colleagues that are working marketing at my university, I ask them, what was the last time you sat with my students in the class? What the hell you know what you're selling and what you will communicate to students if you don't know what you're doing? You think that education didn't change since you were in school? Well, you were wrong. You can see how much changed a couple of years ago. So that's why you have to go out, research a lot, and always study. And then figure out, that's why you have to use your time now. Because studying is easy. Just read a lot. Everything you read, you don't have to learn it. It stays somewhere. You will carry it. It will help you explain things later. And you won't even figure, how did I come up with this? Your brain is such a strange and beautiful things that does wonders for us. So read, because later you get tired of stupid things. Now everything is interesting, but later you have so many interesting things that you want to sacrifice your time for. Now you think you have time. No, whole life is. Yes, it is, but change is very fast. You have time stealers all over. Any more questions? Online people? No. Okay. Thank you guys for, I don't know, your attitude. It is respectful, and I really appreciate that. So I hope you have heard something that will at least help you move around. If you have any questions, I do need it. I told you Mexican students are my favorite, so I doubt that it's the last time. Yeah. Thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, online people. Hi, everyone online. Thank you so much for being here. Before you leave, can you please just take a few more minutes? I would like to take a picture of all of you online here with the back in the Zoom and the ones that are here. So if we can have some memory about this class. So guys, and online, if you can just turn on your cameras for 1 minute so that we can actually see your faces here and take the picture, that would be wonderful. Thanks so much for staying on. I don't know if any of you class right now at 1, but it'll take just 1 more minute. So, and please, team 2, if there's anyone still from team 2, I know you had to present today. We're sending your presentation to next week along with team 3. So it's gonna be something. Okay, so, Julián, frente para tomarnos la foto, por favor, ya tomo la foto. Yes, stay there.
Come on, people. I like the pictures.
Yeah. And it's pretty.
I'm sorry, I was speaking.
Okay, so. Switching positions, so you take a picture. And one picture, another one. There it is. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Gracias, muchas gracias.
How many languages? is-
Gracias.
No, just one, two. Croatian. Gracias, gracias. I don't think. That word in Spanish. Being here and. Doing the routines, like, that's all I understand. Very funny, great.